Hello, my name is Dan Moran. This is my Module 5, Understanding My Community, Mays, Kansas. This one was a lot of fun. Just for me being a Mays graduate, I really haven't looked in depth on the breakup and how the actual Mays district works itself. Just kind of from what I've gathered, Mays is a friendly small town. It's 7 miles from Wichita. Wichita is kind of the bigger area, metropolitan area that a lot of people will travel through into. Um, Kind of looking at the habits of the people, the Mays School is pretty much the heart of the community life. With that being said, the Maze offers multiple social interactions, such as the Maze Recreation Commission offers a variety of sports. Personally, I went through the Maze Rec baseball and basketball team, and that was just a lot of fun, just getting out there and kind of learning how to play basketball or baseball. The Maze Lions Club, they support the school systems by partnering with local businesses to support the students. One major fundraiser is, since we just got done with 4th of July, there is a Maze Lions Club that does run a fireworks stand, and the profits go to supporting the band and their summer expenses and travels to different band camps. The Mays Area Chamber of Commerce works to improve Mays' business environment in order to promote economic well-being. I did not know there was a Mays Area Chamber of Commerce, so that was kind of cool. Kind of the breakdown of the Mays is, we're 91.3% white. 1.5 African American, 1.1 Native American, 1.1 Asian, and 0.1 Pacific Island. The 7.4% Hispanic and Latino has actually grown from last year. The percentile is rising. These statistics are from last year's survey and kind of breakdown of it as well. Kind of continue on with the population characteristics. The educational level, 94% English speaking, 4% Spanish, and then we have 2% other languages. So, we're very heavy on English speakers, but, we have that 6% that are not English languages, or so they're ESOL. Kind of the breakdown of it, 49.4 households had children under the age of 18. So that's just showing that Mays is a growing district in the aspects of younger families moving into it and raising their family in it and sending them through the Mays schools. 59.4% married couples live together, 15.2% female household, and 5.8% male household. If we're looking at the gender makeup, 51% female, 48.6% male. The occupation, just gathering from the Mays district is, a lot of these students are coming from households where both parents work, or they have the luxury of, one parent works, but, they have a very prominent job and they're able to handle living off of one income. So, just looking down there, just for the average medium income was $51,845. That was really surprising to me, just because I didn't think, those people going through the Mays district were bringing in that much per year. But, granted, I was really not doing that much research and, just going through the district itself. Know the communication channels. This is one thing that, I kind of grew up with. The Wichita Eagle is a local newspaper. That way you get, information on what's going on in the news. And then the Neighborhood Eagle is just a neighborhood newspaper that kind of gives snapshots of important things that are going on. And then if we're looking on TV, we have KSN, Cake News, KWCH, Fox Kansas. So there's a lot of news stations that you can tune into as well. Radio, it kind of varies. We have a lot of talk shows, we got a lot of podcasts and whatnot. So just looking at the breakdown, I feel like the community gets a lot of the news through the local newspapers, TV, and also through social media through the schools. Kind of speaking on the community groups, ones that are very prominent are, the Mays Lions clubs. They do a really good job partnering with schools and helping support students. We have the Mays Recreation Commission, Mays Area Chamber of Commerce, PTO, and our school board. This one's kind of cool because this started coming together, uh, in 2016, and this is really cool because it's called Maslow's Pantry, but it's open to students in the Mays district, and it's put together by students that are trying to provide food, hygiene items, clothes, just things that families would need to get through the day, just be able to be clean and have good hygiene. Knowing the leadership, kind of giving the breakdown, our mayor, Diana Clauslin, our police chief, Matt Ginsby, he is also on the Board of Education. School leaders, Superintendent Chad Higgins, May School Board. At our school, we have Court Haynes, our athletic director, Shane Paulus. Our PTO president is Heather Cinco, and then, I need to get to know the physical education department head since I am also new to the district. And then, coaches and other sponsors that help support May South as a school and the teachers as well. Taking inventory, kind of looking at the gender makeup, like I said before, 51.4 female, 48.6. A lot of them come from families that work, and both parents are working or one is prominent. Kind of the community leaders. This is one thing that when I was going through school, we didn't have Chad Higgins as our superintendent, but just from snapshots and district emails and newsletters, it really looks like he is trying to get into the district, get into the students' lives by going into the schools itself, and he will take a day out of the month and he will go shadow a student or for half a day. Well, just kind of getting into the daily routines, and that's kind of fun. Just seeing, hey, here's the superintendent. He's also our guest student for today. And then our district leaders have made it very clear for their visions and goals for the district, and that helps the community stakeholders and school stakeholders understand where the direction of the district is going. Economic conditions, kind of like the breakdown of it, the poverty line is very low. There's a 3% of families are below the poverty line. So out of the whole district, of 6,270 students, only 3% of those families are below poverty line. So, we are a well-established district. Kind of the political structure. This one was really surprising to me just because, it was kind of a breakup. So, Republican Party, we had 54%, Democratic 36%. Other was 9%. The operating budget was just something that was really eye-opening because this was all from the 1819 school year. So the breakdown of it really shows in depth like how much the district is bringing in to operate and how much state aid they are getting, but then the bond issues, so the funding that the bond has been passed for school upgrades and helping improve the district buildings as well to accommodate the growing numbers of students. The mill levy, this is something I didn't even know, but it was really interesting. So it's just kind of 1 mil equals 1 tax dollar for every 1,000 of assessed value of the district. So it's kind of cool understanding that. Social tensions, like I said, we are a growing district. We're looking at trying to pass another bond to add additional classrooms to some schools, or possibility looking into building 2 new buildings that will just be strictly 5th and 6th grade students. And then, we just have new district boundaries. This is something that's been in the works, but it's finally being applied, and it's really causing some tension because, students were able to choose what schools they were going to go to, but now it's middle school and high school are determined for you through the boundaries. And then Mays High School versus Mays South High School. This was something that was not supposed to happen, but, like I said, we didn't have boundary lines, so, Mays South, who was originally supposed to be a 4A school, ended up being a 5A, 6A at a couple of times, but then they ended up playing Mays High School in a lot of sports, so that kind of created the rivalry between both high schools. Extra sources of information. This is kind of where I got a lot of my information. So, like I briefly touched on, the budget information, city data information, and then, Mays, Kansas itself. So, no multicultural issues. Minority enrollment is 22% of the student body. So additional ESOL students will be in the classroom. So like I mentioned before, it was 7.4. Now we're at 22% that are ESOL students. Multicultural races, as teachers, it's our responsibility to inform and respect other students' beliefs and religious views. We may not agree with them all, but, we have to respect it because that is their view, and, we all have our opinions, but sometimes it's best to keep it to ourselves. And then incorporating special education students into the classroom effectively. We have a great, we call it the buddy program at the Mays High School, but we're kind of trying to get it down to the middle school level of how we can start building that family and establishing, this is how special education students are incorporated into the classroom effectively. But then that also puts on to properly training teachers on how to fully include that student in the classroom. Kind of the power structures, we have our superintendent, and then that goes to assistant superintendent Richard Bell, and then the school board members. There's a list of all of them right there. And then, that comes down to our principal and then our assistant principals that will pass it on to the faculty. For me, I'm coming from a private sector, so we didn't have a teachers union. So I need to be able to understand how the teacher union works and how that will, benefit me in the long run. Getting to know the district board members and how they vote, or, where their vision is going. And if that aligns with what I feel that the district is going, that is something that I can get behind and support. Like I said, we're looking at doing more bonds. We're trying to figure, I got to understand how these bonds are going to affect our schools and what that means for the district in the long run. And then, the Mays South Middle School power structure. We have the athletic director, principal, and assistant principal. Measuring public opinion, from what I've gathered, Mays is an established district, and, I haven't heard anything negative. It's all been positive, and, parents express it through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. That just is out there on the media for everyone to see and view and kind of get a snapshot of what the Mays district is and what those schools inside the Mays district are made of and what they are accomplishing as well. Public opinion surveys, sometimes they're emailed or mailed home. That's kind of to get parents' points of view, or get an idea of where they're leaning or what way they're going to swing. Citywide survey on district bond and issues, just kind of getting a snapshot of, okay, is this bond going to have a chance to pass, or is it a bond that, is not going to pass because of, increase in taxes, or, it's going to take away from different parts of the district as well. Administrative feedback from the staff, us being able to rate our administrative staff of like, yes, we feel supported, or no, these are areas where we feel like we could have some improvement on. And, the administrators should be able to go back, reflect on them, and be able to do some self-assessment of, okay, these are areas that I need to fix and really work on improving or fine-tune. That is all that I have. Sorry that I was talking quick. I was trying to make sure I didn't go over my 15-minute time limit. Have a great evening. I will look forward to hearing from you guys.